Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make fruit leather in Pampered Chef's Deluxe air fryer. We're also going to use the Deluxe cooking blender as well as a few other Pampered Chef items today. As you're joining, please leave me a comment. Let me know if you're watching live, if you're catching the replay, and where you're watching from. And if you like this video, I hope you'll like it and share it with your friends. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to make raspberry peach fruit leather in Pampered Chef's new fruit leather trays that go right in the Deluxe air fryer. You get a set of 3 trays because we have 3 slots that you can place your trays into the air fryer, and you can dehydrate these using the dehydrate function right on the air fryer. For time's sake, you're not going to be able to see the finished product today, but be sure to join my recipe group at theflipflopchef.com. I will post pictures in the comments of that video so that you'll be able to see them when they're done. These take about 8 to 10 hours to dehydrate, and this is the first time I've made them, so I'm making them with you today for the first time. So I'm going to take these out so that I have them handy, and it's a little awkward at this angle to get them into the air fryer. We're going to mix up the fruit leather mixture in our Deluxe cooking blender, so let me just zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing here. We're gonna start off with about 8 ounces of raspberries. These were frozen raspberries that I defrosted, and you do wanna drain them. So you see I've got the Easy Read measuring colander right over one of our prep bowls, just so that all of that juice from the raspberries can drain into the cup. I drained a lot of this in the sink before we started, so I'll set this aside. And then I have our classic batter bowl here with about 20 ounces of frozen peaches. Same thing, I let these defrost in the fridge overnight, and I drained them in the sink first and then just place it in the batter bowl to catch any additional liquid. We're gonna toss these in to the blender. And we're gonna put this in our Deluxe cooking blender base. And if you're not familiar with Pampered Chef's Deluxe cooking blender, I encourage you to watch some of the other videos that I have done before featuring the Deluxe cooking blender. I have a whole class showing you how to use this Deluxe cooking blender to make just about anything that you could imagine. Smoothies, alternative milks, homemade peanut butter, homemade jam, homemade sauce, baby food, you name it, you can do it in the cooking blender. It is a true cooking blender. It has a heating element in here. I call it a smart blender because it really just does all of the thinking for you. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of agave right into the cooking blender container. I'm using our little petite measure all cup. Close the lid, press this in. I'm just gonna use a scraper to scrape that off. All right, we're gonna put the lid right on the top. And then there is like a little plug right here. You plug it into the base of the blender. I'm always doing this backwards. From the angle that I use for the camera, it's totally different than how I use this in my kitchen on a regular basis. I also have a video showing you a comparison between the Deluxe cooking blender and the Vitamix. It's amazing and it will blow your mind. We're gonna turn the blender on, and I'm actually gonna turn this around towards me a little bit. I'm just gonna use the custom blend setting. Press the button, I'll start at like 3 or 4. We're not using a pre-programmed setting for this. I just need to puree and mix this together. So it won't take very long. Let me do this real quick. How's that? 9 seconds, right? So we're gonna grab this off, and let me slide the blender out of the way. And we're gonna add these to our fruit leather trays. So let me change your view there. And like I said, this is the first time that I'm using the fruit leather trays, so I'm sure that I will learn some tricks along the way on the best and easiest way to fill this. But for today, I'm just going to pour gently and just sort of spread this out. You want to get like a nice full well, and I'll try to pour a little slower this time. So we can just kind of do these little globs, and then I'll flatten them out. And if you can notice, I'm kind of resting the blender right on the counter as I'm pouring. So this is the long skinny scraper that I'm using to kind of press these out into the fruit leather tray. So I'll do one more. so that you guys can kind of get an idea. And then I will put these in the air fryer and set it to dehydrate for about 8 to 10 hours. We do recommend that you check it at the least amount of time listed. So that means check it at 8 hours, make sure that they're cooking evenly, or dehydrating rather evenly. And if you need to adjust the trays at that time, you can. If you find that some are dehydrating at a different rate, then you can adjust those trays around. I would just sort of tap these on the table a little bit just to kind of flatten those out. We have so many different options that you could use for this. So basically you can use any fruit, add a little bit of agave in there, and you'll be able to make homemade fruit leather that's way more healthy than what you can buy on the store shelves when you buy these for your kids, or maybe even for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video featuring the Deluxe air fryer fruit leather trays. I cannot wait for these to be finished so I can try them. I know my kids will gobble them up really, really quick, so I'll be making more of these soon. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.